Welcome to McKinley Live, real people, real stories. Oh my goodness, today I am so excited to have Talesha Payne, our director of our short-term residential therapeutic program with us today. Talesha, I'm serious. I have been waiting for today because I knew that I was going to get to spend some time with you. So thank you for carving time.
Thank you for having me here today.
Well, today we are talking about diversity and inclusion because it is the month that this is our topic and our highlight that is happening, not just here at McKinley, but in the world. And before we get started with that, I would like you to share with us, how long have you been here?
As of January of this year, I've been here 5 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
We always talk about our why. You know, I know that your job is not easy, and you lead a team that is really, I often say, you guys are on the front line. What is your why? Why would you choose to do this in your career?
You know, Grace, growing up in South Central LA, I've had some teachers that really kind of impacted my life. And I've also had some negative things or trauma that's transpired, and I really want to be able to give back. So they kind of planted a seed and they kind of stayed with me through middle school and high school. It really inspired me to actually give back and get a degree that I could do that.
Wow.
And I was the counselor of the community. So it really was something that just came natural.
Well, this is your calling, I sense. And even when I see you on campus, you know, watching the boys approach you and just your presence, it's powerful, and yet it's so nurturing. I see this side of you, and it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about diversity and inclusion, and maybe you'd be willing to share a story of, you know, what your experience has been like in your career path, positive or negative, whatever you want to share with us, and maybe bringing to light some things that you've experienced.
I think I want to say maybe about 7 years back, I was looking at moving into the Midwest, moving somewhere around the Kansas, Missouri area.
Okay.
And, you know, I don't really brag or anything about education. I do have a couple degrees, but I was up for a particular position that other people, whether they were men or people that were of a different race, and even though I had more experience than everyone, it didn't matter. I got pushed over. And that happened for almost like a year and a half, and kind of got discouraged and said, you know what, I want to go ahead and stay in California with the connections that I've already made and kind of move through those channels instead.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry that you experienced that. Selfishly, I will say I'm happy that you're here and that things worked out where we get to have you, because you are a tremendous asset to the agency. And again, I've watched you and I see what you do and how you do it. Let me ask you this, because we're talking about diversity and inclusion, why is it so important to you? Not only because of what you've experienced both from your upbringing and, you know, I know you and I have shared that, you know, I also was born and raised in Compton, and, you know, we come from a background where we've seen even the differences in our social and economic exposures. But why is this so close and near and dear to your heart?
I think it really goes back to the why, you know, and it goes back to really kind of making sure that my boys, because the SDRTP has boys, and it's a 28-bed boys facility. And the reality is that I need to make sure that we're instilling those values within those kids and allowing them to see people that look like them, aspire and reach their goals, so that they just don't stop. You know, I think that if I didn't have those teachers, because my parents, my siblings, they learn about education and things like that. But if I didn't have those individuals to kind of put me on the right path, then I don't know where I would be right now. So it's really big, because in communities of color, we actually don't really talk about education.
Yeah.
We don't talk about finances. We don't talk
So
about
true.
these things that really impact our children's lives. So it is my job and my team's job to make sure that they know
Mm.
about finances. They know about diversity. They know
Love
about
that.
what is an inclusive environment. What does that look like?
Mm. That's so beautiful. I know that recently we've been having these, discussions with your various teams, and I've had the privilege to be a part of them. I know that in those discussions, we're asking about, the social unrest or the injustices that we've seen in 2020 or how the pandemic has affected us. And I believe you mentioned that you're also having these conversations with the boys and you're incorporating these open dialogues with them. How is that going, and how is that being received, not only from the staff but from the boys themselves?
I think from the staff perspective, it gives them the opportunity to have conversations that they didn't realize they could have with the boys
Mm-hmm.
at work. You normally don't have things about the unrest. It would be more of a taboo to bring that to work and have that conversation with the kids.
Mm.
But I think with those groups that we're having, it's really opening up the doors to really allow everybody to just be human and teach from a human perspective. As far as the boys, in our program and just in the state of California, there's a lot of children of color
Mm-hmm.
in the system. And as you talked about the unrest, you start to talk about what happens when you get pulled over by the police.
That's right.
So I've had some of the staff have those conversations with the boys in reference to that.
Mm.
We don't want them to fear the police because there are a lot of great police officers out there.
Absolutely.
But we also want them to know how to be respectful and not take what was going on during the unrest and want to retaliate.
Mm.
So it's really kind of teaching, allowing ourselves to just be teachers along the way or just be parents. Our kids don't have parents, which are the individuals that really kind of instill those values in us. So they have us to actually come in and just kind of have those real conversations.
And I must say, Talesha, you and your team do it so well. And of course, that's a lot of credit to your leadership, and I commend you for that. Let's talk a little bit about recently, as a result of the efforts both from our team and from our donors and our foundations. Our community has really come alongside us, especially during this difficult time of the pandemic, helping us with Chromebooks, helping us with the culinary and the garden projects that are really directly servicing and serving the boys. But what would you say, Talesha, if a donor, and you could look over to the audience and tell them a message of gratitude because of the way that they've come alongside us?
I would just say thank you. March 13th last year, I received a phone call that said the kids were going to be out of school, everything shut down, and we had the kids 24/7, 7 days a week, and we needed to do activities and instill things in those youth. But we've had donors come out and support us with our nutrition program. And we're now cooking meals in the cottages. We've been blessed to get the Ninja Foodies, which has been awesome. So I have kids kind of chasing me down and saying, hey, are you going to go to Sam's Club this week? Can you get more food so we can cook? And that's because of the donors. We are a nonprofit, so there's not a lot of money here. So the idea that people have opened up their hearts to really kind of touch the kids as far as donating money, time, different things like that, I commend you for it. I say thank you. There's a lot of gratitude that goes to you. The other big thing was the gifts that we got during the holidays.
Amazing, right?
I mean, if you think about it, all of us were kids. And if you just remember being a kid and you wake up on Christmas morning, the first thing you did is want to go open up a gift. But the donors made it happen. Our kids had 4 or 5 gifts and were able to open up things and not feel like the system has once again failed them. So I want to say thank you. I mean, I can't say thank you enough because we've had so many donors, so many programs. We have a music program that we're starting here because of the donors and being able to have a studio to allow our kids to express themselves through music. And expressing trauma through music, boy, that's a really good one.
Powerful,
That
right?
is so powerful, Grace.
Well, it's interesting. I do want to just make mention, Talesha, that, um, we wouldn't be able to do what we do in the development department if it wasn't for what you guys all do. And I know that you're one of the other programs that we serve, but I always feel like that was the foundation. That was what McKinley started as. And so the fact that we get to be a part, and we are starting this new campaign that we will be rolling out to renovate the cottages, and we just have some really exciting things that we're looking forward to and working closely with you and your team. I do want to just, as we close, I'm just going to ask you this question. What do you do for fun, Talesha?
What do I do for fun? I spend time with my family. I have a 10-year-old and a beautiful fiance, and we like to travel. We like to camp. So between that, our little COVID dog and the other two dogs at home, we just try to relax a little bit. I mean, our jobs are very demanding.
Yes.
We both work in the service field.
Okay.
So we try to spend time with family, and I like to cook. So
Nice.
I am the cook at home, and I make most of the meals and stuff. So
We're going to have to throw down one of these days.
I'm ready, Grace.
I love it. Well, thank you all for joining us and taking a moment to learn more about McKinley. If something has been said that really intrigued you, or you'd like to learn more about McKinley and the work that we're doing, please visit our website at www.mckinleycc.org. I do want to mention that we are starting a mentorship program, and that program will be working directly with the boys from our STRTP program. So if that might be something that you might be interested in, or want to learn how to volunteer and to come and to see the lives that are being changed here at McKinley, we would be honored to have you. Thank you again, Talesha, for being with us. Until next time, thank you.